I think the earliest memory I would recall that was anything of greater value. Um, well, okay, I'll take it back to two memories real quick. First memory was we'd gone back to the Philippines and we visited um, my uncle and everybody. My uncle had like a movie theater down in our town. He owned a movie theater, and so I was in high school and I was like looking at it and I'm like going, why aren't you doing marketing? Why aren't you doing this? Why? I started talking to him about doing this, and he's looking at my dad going, where's this kid coming from? Uh, and I think he had a feeling. Well, it's weird because that uncle and my grandmother had a feeling that I'd be doing something in business. So
At that point,
that's one memory.
um, at
I
that
was in
point,
yeah.
you were in high school, but were you already thinking you wanted to work in advertising, or were you just thinking, oh,
Oh
it's a business that needs
no,
help?
no, I had no idea I was going to go in advertising or business. I mean, or anything. I think in my mind, I think I still had the idea I was going to go in the medical field. So, but my brain was going there automatically, trying to figure out how to drum up more business from my uncle, and it was just like, okay. So that's one memory, and I would say the other one that's very distinctive is my senior year in high school was really when I started seriously thinking about going into this. And that was started out as, again, it was a uh, last minute decision to take this class just so I can get the one last credit I needed to graduate. And I wanted an easy class because I was tired of taking all these hard classes, these honors classes. So I just wanted something easy my senior year. And so I took it because my art teacher had recommended me take this graphics communications class. And so I won the first contest, and I'm like, okay, fluke, whatever, good. Then won the second and the third. I ended up winning like I think 15 of the 16 that we entered. I can't remember. It was something like that. I like only lost one. And so these contests were like poster contests, logo contests, and they were competing against different students across the state, different, and even in some cases competing against higher level people in college or even anybody who wanted to enter for that matter. So like I said, I think at that point I was just like, okay. And I didn't win any. I think the only thing why I asked for whether it was free gig or paid gig, out of all the stuff that I won, there wasn't anything that I won anything specifically money for, except for one logo, which was this NITEC, which was an oddly enough, it was kind of like a technology-based governmental thing that the government was doing at the time. So I won like a $250, I don't know, gift certificate or government bond. I don't know what the hell. I can't remember. I'm too old for that to remember that. But that was the first paying gig.
So what was the class? Was it an art class, a graphic design class?
It was a graphic communications class. So we were looking at fonts, we were looking at design, we were looking at overall look at everything, and we were looking at how graphic communications affected the world and what it did. So it was interesting because that was the very first class where I learned how to do quick sketches, thumbnails. And it was hilarious because people like hated doing thumbnails. They just absolutely hated. So, a teacher would require something like 10 minimum thumbnails before you can start work. People wanted to start work right away. I don't know, I just saw it as an opportunity to keep on playing with different layouts without having to invest myself into a lot of work. And so I would do like 30, 50 thumbnails per each thing that we would work on. And she would give you extra credit. And I don't know, I can't remember. I'd have to ask her. But she says to the day she retired, I had bar none the highest score ever because of me doing so many freaking thumbnails. I filled up 3 books, and everybody else was on book 1, and I had 3 books of thumbnails by the end of class. And I was like, I don't know. Like I said, for me, it was just like a faster way to do iterations without investing all that time.
So did you guys, it sounds like thumbnails were hand sketches, and did you guys then move to computer?
No, that was
Everything
before
hand.
computer. Everything was done by hand. So you had everything on these non-repo grid that you would work on, and you would use Letraset letters, and they were kind of like scratch-ons.
Yeah,
The
I thought only I had worked with Letraset.
Oh God, no, no, no. And then if you happen to found a font, and this was, public school, you happen to find a font, but there was a missing letter in the Letraset, you weren't going to get that letter back, and nothing would look the same. So you just have to say, suck it up. I'm going to use this font. This is what I want, but you're going to hand draw everything, and you've got to be very careful, because by the time you start inking, that ink, if you didn't do it right, would bleed, and it would screw up the straightness of the line, and you'd be like, oh.